Squad Sports.
This is Jacob Harris, and shout out to Home Squad Sports.
Hey, it's Jake.
All right. Home Squad Sports getting ready for week 3. That's already rolling by here. We got special guest Chris here with the Last Talk Pod. Familiar face here with the Draft Professors if you've been filling in. So really excited. He knows everything with combat sports, football, you name it. He's the guy, and really excited. But first, before we get started, Dalton, how you doing, man?
I'm doing better than I was last time we recorded.
Yeah,
At least I had a couple of days, set on it.
Yeah, your Florida Gators, man. You're feeling a little bit more optimistic this week, which is cool.
Because now if we lose, it's like, oh, it's expected.
Yeah, okay.
The pressure is off.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
As fans,
I'm excited to see if it's like
pressure's on the coach still.
If you're optimistic because you know you're bad, or if you're optimistic because you're just totally jaded at this point.
Optimistic because I think LSU is not that great either. They scored 23 points against Louisiana Tech, so we own to 23. We got a chance.
Okay. Well,
right? Come on.
Hey, we'll talk about it before, after our top 6.
That's my argument.
We're gonna bring in our special guest Chris. He is that man. Let's bring him in now, and I'm really excited to have him on. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to doing this because I've been doing all my research for college football today. It's been a rough day, but let's talk some football, get some people happy or get some people upset with our takes, and just have some good, clean fun, as they say.
I totally agree, man.
Yes,
I'm happy
sir.
to have you on. Ever since our first time with Draft Professors, I've been wanting to get you on, and now you're regular on Monday crew with Draft Professor with Dalton, right?
Yes, they can't get rid of me. I just popped in for a bit. Now someone's like, "Hey, I guess I'll bring you back. You're okay." But yes, it's been fun. I enjoyed tremendously with Draft Professors.
Yeah, we need you there. We need you, so it's appreciated.
I agree. And hey, and we're excited too because, man, Draft Professors has been keeping us on our toes. They keep us like, all right. You always feel like you're not doing enough because there's so many ball watchers in the chat with anybody you name it, from Bill Sparks, Randall Durst. I mean, you name it, Hank. Shout out to all the guys. Shout out to all the guys. And yourself, Chris. So, I mean, Draft Professors, if you're a draft guy, if you just want to keep up with it all year, they are draft podcast every single day. I think they started like 2 months ago on Daily Draft Podcast, and they're going to pretty much be able to catch them at 7, 8 o'clock all the way up until draft day, which is not a small feat. Because shout out to Jim.
It's crazy
for doing that every day. Because we podcast twice a week. If you want to count Draft Professors 3 times a week, and it's a lot. So imagine just doing that every day. It's so much.
I don't think I would like it. Not every day,
Yeah.
But he's kind of just the moderator.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't have to.
He's the
You don't
mastermind.
have to know. If
Yeah.
we had to do what we do 7 days a week, that wouldn't
Yeah, he's a
That
mastermind.
would be hard.
For sure.
He has a good thing going there.
I agree. So, Chris, man, I'm really excited to get your takes here on all of our games. Let's get into our top 6 games. And a couple more we'll talk about as well. We'll have time. But we have the first here. Now, if we want to go ahead and go in order, we do have tomorrow night. We have NC State and Wake Forest. Give your thoughts on this game or just your overall going into week 3 and what you've seen so far this season.
It's a tough game because you have two teams that are trying to bounce back from different changes. Let's start with Wake Forest. The longtime Dave Clawson, who was a staple for that team, Coach of the Year 2021. He resigned. He retired, and in comes Jake Dickert from Washington State, and there were a lot of transfers out. He was able to keep Damon Claiborne, which is a big one. I brought in Robbie Ashford, who was the backup quarterback at South Carolina. And so far, they're 2-0. And this is basically a big game for, bowl contention and just sort of like, okay, well, wait a minute here. Maybe we have something going here. Maybe we can start something. Meanwhile, you have NC State, and Dave Doreen is one of the oldest coaches in the ACC. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
He's been around. And, there's always people in North Carolina like, maybe we could do better. Or we never get 10 wins. But, he's 89-65 in his career. He's been to 10 bowl games in 12 years. For what it is, and for being, the second tier, program in North Carolina, it's not bad. Neither team, I have no idea what they are. Because they haven't played any real competition. Like, you look at NC State, Virginia, they're supposed to be one of the worst. They won 35-31. It was a fun shootout. And then they beat East Carolina. And meanwhile, you look at Wake Forest, and it's all right. Yeah, they're wins and they're good, but when you beat Kenesaw State 10-9, and then Western Carolina 42-10, it's like I have no idea. I will say this: there's one player I'm dying to look. I'm looking forward to because he's come up on our draft boards, people, and that's right. The name says it all. Hollywood Smothers, 39 carries, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. He is just a fun guy to watch for a running back. I'm looking. He's going to be, I think, the story of the game. And if you're Wake Forest, you brought in Langston Hardy and Jaden Loving of transfer portal, two defensive linemen who have 4.5 sacks, combined. They're going to have to stop this kid.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone's loving Smothers right now. They're all over some Smothers, and I love it, man. I think there's a lot of guys that's been showing out from return game, from running back standpoint. But like you said, we don't know what these teams are so far. If you're not dominating Kennesaw State, Dalton is telling me all offseason Robbie Ashford's not that guy. I've been on the Robbie Ashford bandwagon, and after I saw Kennesaw State performance, I'm like, all right, maybe I need to pump the brakes on Robbie Ashford a little bit. But I will say NC State is not as good as they're not playing as good as I thought they would either.
Yeah, I just really like them in this game because they've already won 2 really close games. 2 defensive stands to win both games too. So I think it comes down to the wire. Wake Forest played 2 bad teams. I actually think Virginia's good this year. I think they're good with Chandler Morris in that offense.
Yeah.
I think they're going to score points against everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they can stop anybody, but their offense, I think they're gonna be a lot of shootouts this year. And East Carolina's got a good offense too. Caton Hauser, but held them to 17 points. So I like them a lot, and they're way more proven than Wake Forest so far. I mean, beating Kennesaw by 1. We see what Indiana did to them last week.
Yeah, I had money on the Wake Forest game. I took them like minus 17.5 that first game. So obviously they're not living up to what I thought they were going to be, and a lot of other people. So, but I do think CJ Bailey's got a good shot of just getting the ship right and them getting the dub. I think they got talented wideouts. They'll be able to, I think, get the job done. But that's going to be our first game on the slate on our Thursday night, which is tomorrow, obviously. And if we want to go ahead and get to our picks here, we can. And then we can talk about maybe some. I know it's really early. Might just look at at least the Heisman odds and see if anybody wants to look at that, and then look at the so important this time of the year AP poll, which is losing like its credibility by the hour. I feel like, and rightfully so. But we'll see here.
I mean, if South Florida wins this week, they should be ranked number 1, but they won't be, right?
I don't know. We'll see. I think we're going to see some shakeup. But
like if they win.
What do you think, Chris? I mean, are you a guy that looks into this AP poll? Do you have a lot of stake in it right now, or do you just kind of wait and see until the playoffs and or what's your thought on it?
I'm going to wait to see till at least the first 5 weeks, and then I'll go, okay, what is it looking like? Because, too many teams that, haven't played anybody. I mean, I love Missouri right now, but if you look at Missouri, it's like, yeah, Kansas is nice, and you blew up a team that wasn't that good. Like, let's wait and see who they are. Because right now we have no idea who half these teams are. Like, even I love South Carolina. I have no idea if they're any good because, goddamn, who have they played? Oh yeah, really nobody.
Yeah, Virginia Tech doesn't look very good at all.
Yeah, no. Before the season,
if you want to touch on Vandy.
Well, if you want to touch on South Carolina, man, I'm like, before the season, I'm like, this offensive line is going to be really shaky. I think Lenore needs to leave town, get out of Dodge, hit the transfer portal. And but he hasn't been overwhelming like we saw, because like you said, Chris, he hasn't played anybody up to this point. And if you're not going to play nobody, then you better be that guy on the field. And he hasn't.
They only have 5 offensive touchdowns in 2 games.
Yeah.
3 punt return touchdowns.
3 punt return.
Once those dry up, teams are going to stop punting to the guy.
Dylan Stewart can't get a sack, or he's like Micah Parsons Jr. I mean,
teams just going to stop punting to this guy and make their offense beat him. And I don't know. If their O-line can't hold up, they're going to struggle against the good SEC teams, I think, for sure. Like this week, they might struggle.
I agree. I
We'll
agree.
talk
Yeah.
about that.
So I mean, we can maybe touch back on the AP poll, but yeah, I think we are on the same boat there with the AP poll in general at this time of the year.
I
You know,
I don't worry about it any time of the year anymore.
Yeah.
The only poll that matters is the college football playoff.
Yeah, well, it matters. Like, it really only has like 2 weeks, like leading up until the first
Until the
playoff
first
one.
playoff,
That's when
yeah.
people really want to see where everyone's at. But like you said, yeah, I think that they've been pretty much watered down these last few years. With the playoffs. So, but let's go ahead and get into picks here for the first game. I like NC State. I'm going to take them. I like it a lot, actually. I think they could win by maybe 10 points. But what do you think, Dalton? Then we'll see what Chris thinks about it.
I like NC State as well. Yeah. Like the reasons I said earlier, 2 close games already against teams I think would beat Wake Forest probably.
Yeah.
So Wake Forest their offense hasn't looked good at all. Even last week against Western Carolina, they put up 42, but a lot of it was good field position and stuff like that. They got a lot to prove. Robbie Ashford just doesn't impress me throwing the ball.
Nah, he don't, man. I feel like a lot of times he just doesn't pull the trigger. He'll see the guy open. He'll look at him. He'll wait way too late.
Yeah.
And like if you wait way too late in college, then it's like times 10 in the NFL way too late. But what do you think, Chris? If you want to get a pick on the game,
Yeah, I'm going North Carolina. Look. I like what Wake Forest did to bring in Jake Dickert, but you look and it's like, okay, his offense coordinator Robbie Azell never worked with. He brought him over from South Alabama, who last year was his first time ever calling plays. His defensive coordinator is Scott Hazelton, another guy who, you know, a year ago was a special assistant to the head coach, and he has never worked with Dickert. So they're trying to build a culture, and they're trying to add all these people here, and it's just North Carolina. At least you look and go, it's an established program. They're ahead of the game. They should have more talent right now and just be more cohesive in terms of the operation.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think they're gonna kind of shift it into gear here and play more of NC State football that we've seen these last few years this week. And I think some of those issues for Robbie Asher might carry over into this week. But yeah, I think now it's -7 right now. Are you a big guy with spreads? Do you think they'll cover the spread?
Yeah, I think they'll cover it. As I said, we're not sure what Wake Forest is, so this could be like it's close and a half, and then all of a sudden North Carolina pulls away. I mean, we don't know enough about Wake Forest. It's good they won their first 2 games, but Kennesaw State, you only won by 1. Western Carolina, you won by 32. But it's like, okay, well, at least we know North Carolina State is a team that can beat an ACC team.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yep. I agree.
Agree. All right, so we can wrap it up here and kind of snake it to the top left here. Now we're in order. We got Clemson, Georgia Tech. This game, everyone, Georgia Tech, I think, looking in was like, all right, if Clemson's sleeping here, Georgia Tech might get them. But I just think Clemson's not as good as everyone thought. I just think Georgia Tech's not as good as a lot of people thought as well. I think they really are missing Singleton at wide receiver. If they had him this year,
Who?
Singleton.
Georgia?
No,
Who'd you say?
no, is it who's the guy that transferred? They lost to Auburn.
Oh, Georgia Tech. Malachi. Eric Singleton.
Yeah,
Singleton.
Yeah, so they really missed Singleton this year.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
if they had him, I think this offense would be a lot more creative, and they'd have. I think their playbook was cut a good percentage when he left.
yeah, he was, the guy get those screens too, and he's so fast, 4.3 guy, legitimate 4.3 guy.
Legit.
It's a big loss, but man, I still like this team. Haynes King got to sit last week, didn't even play. After he carried the team against Colorado, had like 150 rushing yards.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, man.
Mm.
After watching Clemson the last 2 weeks, I don't see him getting blown out still. So I just feel like it's gonna be low scoring.
Okay. Now, Chris, what do you think about Clemson coming off the slight win off of Troy? I mean, it wasn't even looking good for them for the longest. But what do you think?
I have no idea what the hell's going on in Clemson. I mean, this looks like a team where it's like on paper, God, they're loaded. I mean, you're looking at them, and it's what they have 4 first-round picks alone in T.J. Parker, Peter Woods, Avion Terrell, probably Cade Kubrick if he plays halfway decent. Although I'm not really high on him. And it's like, okay, well, LSU, I'll forgive you. That was a heavyweight fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time out, you're going, okay, This is a team you should destroy. You are the Clemson Tigers. You should not be friggin' struggling with, checks notes Troy, where you're losing, in going into the half. Look, on one side, you figure Clemson will right the ship. I think the bigger question is, if you're Georgia Tech, who do you go with? You go. Haynes King is the more veteran quarterback, but he's not a very good passer. In my opinion, he's either hot or cold, and he'll struggle sometimes, as we saw against Georgia Tech. And I like their wide receivers. I was a big pound the table guy for Eric Rivers. He is
Mm-hmm.
sensational. You got to wonder though, if you are, if you're Tech, do you stick with Haynes King, or if you're Brent Key, do you go, hey, this Aaron Philo kid threw for 373 yards. Granted, yes, it was, of all teams, Gardner Webb, but he was pretty good last year. He's the better, I'd say, pocket passer of the two. I don't know. If there's a lot of questions in this game, and it's like, okay, we think Clemson will win, but God, the variables are like, well, who's going to show up? What's going to happen? Will Aaron Philo be the quarterback? Will it be Haynes King? I don't know. And you're just like, flip a coin.
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
I agree.
I think if Haynes King's healthy, he's the starter by far, though. He was 72% last year, and I think he was led the nation completion percentage.
Did he?
72.5%. It's really good. 65% game one, and he can run. I like Philo too. I like him as a backup, but I think if Haynes King's healthy, you got to go with him. A lot of people underrate him as a passer. I think if you look at that number, 72.5%, it's hard to do at any
I know,
level.
but it's check down this, check down that. I think it's
Yeah,
it's a lot of east to west offense. I think he doesn't push the ball like down the field. Like he should have had 250 week one. Like he should have 250 week one. He didn't even get 200. And I think
Yeah, 156 on the ground though.
I know. But I'm just talking to him as a passer. And they really are missing Singleton. I think they don't have a receiver to come in.
Yeah,
and-
Rivers hasn't stepped up yet like he was supposed to.
yeah, I agree.
And then they got Malik Rutherford back too. I thought he was going to have a better year.
Same. Yeah, I just think they don't have the weapons they
It's
thought
only
they
been 2
did. And
games, so.
then, yeah, like you said, Chris. I mean, we don't know what's going on with Dabo. I think I do. I think the thing is he's not. He tries to be too creative on offense. He's kind of like this old school mantra coach. You just look at him, you just think old school, rugged. But his offense doesn't reflect that. He's never played smash mouth football. He's never just ran it down someone's throat. He doesn't run any under center, which I get nobody does these days. But the greats do. Kirby Smart does still throw in a little
Mhm.
under center every now and then. And you see he's able to take Gunnar Stockton and some of these other like Stetson Bennett, take them all the way. I think he should take a page out of that book. I think that's his big issue. The offense, kind of the same issue with Jeff Brom. Like Jeff Brom has this real pretty offense, then he has these statues at quarterbacks to run it. I think it just doesn't match his personnel. I don't know if I'm crazy for thinking that. I just think he needs elite quarterbacks. We've only seen him succeed with elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think that's what he needs to be successful. I think Dabo's a problem, but I don't know. Maybe they got more issues than that.
I mean, I
Yeah,
still
I'm not
think
big.
we're being. Go ahead.
What frustrates me with him is that he's one of the last people to embrace the transfer portal. And you're looking around,
Mhm.
all these teams are going gaga. And I get it. He is an old school. These are my players. I'm not going to just be a mercenary and go after people. But you could, when you were losing some of these guys last year, a lot of your wide receivers transferred out. You are looking, Antonio Williams is now injured. It's a very young room. You could have easily gone to the transfer portal, grabbed a Rivers, a Singleton, somebody, and it just he is almost defiant. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing a transfer portal. I'm going with my guys. I don't want to pinch people here, so I don't know. He might not be long for college football because he seems like Nick Saban, where it's like I don't like how this game is going, and I really don't want to put up with it.
I agree. He only had
Yeah.
8 this year, if you count. So he only dipped into really what he had to. So I think all of us don't really count that. Some of these guys who've got 40 transfers.
Only
coming
one
in.
of them plays a lot. I think.
Yeah.
Will help.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just it's more of a we're in a era and a time where it's adapt or die. You have to adapt with the times, and he just hasn't. Cade Klubnik also, I think, is just a little bit overhyped, and this guy was supposed to be the Messiah coming in. I mean, me and Dalton were in Clemson watching him take some backup reps in garbage time, his freshman year there when DJ was the starter. And everyone's like, "This is the next guy. Like, this is the next Trevor. This is him. We're good now after he gets in." And it just hasn't panned out. Like you said, like you're Clemson, you should be able to come grab some. It should be flash your couple 2 rings and just get anybody pretty much you need, especially with Saban gone. But we'll see, man. We'll get into picks though. I do like. It's I want to pick Georgia Tech, but who's going to make the plays? Right? That's just the question. Is Haynes King going to be able to get some big runs on third down? Is he going to pass for them? Are they just going to try to win the time of possession? But give me Georgia Tech. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I do think they're going to do it. And before we get into Dalton's pick, what do you think, Chris? You got a pick for this game?
I'm going to go with Clemson just because I think it's going to come down to a defensive game. And I think if at least Clemson could look and go, look, we have 2 game changers in Parker and Woods. Clemson likes to run the ball. These 2 will shut down the run. If King plays, they'll cause disruptions. And what I saw in the Colorado game, where he can just be god awful sometimes when he throws the ball, but I think that I could see Navion Terrell taking an interception back for a touchdown. So, yeah, give me Clemson in a rock fight defensive battle.
Okay, I love it. We're going to have a classic dogfight, I think, here. Dalton, what do you think about the game? Who's going to take it home?
I'm going to go with Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Last year, we've seen that they can hang with the big teams, right? They took Georgia to 8 overtimes last year. Georgia was a lot more talented, or not more talented than this Clemson team, but better.
But I think the Georgia Tech
coach.
But I think it evens out because the Georgia Tech team was more talented last year. Am I crazy?
I mean, they ain't replacing much.
I mean, I just took Georgia Tech, so I should be like, but
they're not replacing much outside of Singleton. I mean, yeah, Jackson Hall's tight end got drafted.
I get it. There's days you look at Georgia Tech when they nearly beat Georgia, and you're like, why can't you be this? And then there's other games where you look at Georgia Tech and you go, yeah, you really are not a good team. So
yeah, I know.
I just think, I picked Clemson to win the championship freaking a month ago.
It's crazy.
And now I'm picking against them to lose Georgia Tech.
That's
how much stuff can change.
I mean, we have some of our preseason predictions are so shot
State
already.
Winning the Big 12.
Kansas State being good, Florida being good. I mean,
oh yeah, you even had Florida good.
I had Delaware being horrible.
I told you they were. I was right about that. So far,
you're right about that.
So far, because they gave Colorado a good game.
Yeah, some of the predictions are already shot, but we'll see how good we predict this week.
Yeah.
All right. So you got Georgia Tech, which I thought you was gonna go Clemson there.
I thought I was too.
Dalton's killed me last week on picks. A lot of stuff. I mean, it was crazy. It was a crazy week. We'll get into it because we're going to touch on South Florida because Dalton's a Gators fan. But all right, let's get into the next game on the slate here, Chris. We got at 3:30. We got Georgia and Tennessee. I think Georgia is in for a dogfight, no pun intended, and I think the Vols are coming in. And I think they're going to come out possibly with a win. Aguilar, his dad's talking smack on Twitter, saying they won the trade between him and Nico. I'm going to overthrow you. And what do you think about this game, Chris? Is there anything that's standing out to you just overall?
This is probably Tennessee's best team, top to bottom, in a long time. You looking Joey Aguilar came over and he has slipped right into the quarterback position. He was just on fire in the Syracuse game, just putting up big numbers, showing everybody that he was, not the lesser quarterback. And you looked at that and went, okay, yeah, he's the real deal. And then, even though they lost, James Pierce, Norman Lott, and Dante Thornton to the draft, and Dylan Sampson, they still got lots of talent. I mean, we talk about it, during the draft professors. Jermon McCoy is a first-round, cornerback. You got Joshua Joseph, who is a big, fast freak of a defensive end. He'll be going up against Ernest Green. To me, that's going to be one of the best battles in this game. And Deshaun Bishop is right now just huge. I mean, 14 carries, 150 yards, 11 versus an 82 against Syracuse. You got start Thomas. Like this is Tennessee's time. This to me is like the time for Tennessee.
Okay,
I
fair
agree.
enough.
I think they're a lot better than last year, and that's a lot saying a lot because we're not used to seeing Tennessee just walk into the playoff every year, and then they switch quarterbacks. They have a trade with UCLA, and they look better. I do think Dalton's biased. Dalton's a Florida's fan.
I hate both
Dalton's
these
gonna
teams,
say
though.
Dalton's gonna say.
I don't like either one of these teams. So
I
everything
know,
I say
I know.
about this, so
But Dalton
this
is.
game's going to be
I can
no
look
bias.
at Dalton's
So.
face. Dalton is gonna say that Tennessee is not as good
They're not proven.
as we think, and I'm telling you, Tennessee is good this year.
They're not proven, is all I was going to say.
They
They
just look polished, do they not?
They
look
beat
polished.
Syracuse, which I thought was a good win at the time. Then Syracuse goes out and has to beat UConn in overtime.
'Cause
Right?
They didn't replenish well at all.
So Tennessee hasn't proven. Neither is Georgia. Neither team's proven. I'll say that. I'm just saying we need to pump the brakes a little bit on the Tennessee Joey Aguilar love.
Okay.
Just how Joey Aguilar love. The rest of the team, I love their run game. Defense is going to be good all year. Defense has a lot of guys returned from last year, and they were great. So I'm not worried about the defense. Yeah, they're going to be good. But I don't know if Joey Aguilar is going to beat Georgia. Is what I mean.
This always worries me about Georgia. And look, Christian Miller is a first round draft pick in defensive tackle. CJ Allen is a monster already. He has 11 tackles, 1 sack. You look for it's like they lost Jalen Walker, Mikael Williams, Malachi Starks to the NFL draft. Then he lost Damon Wilson to the second and Jaden Rashada to the transfer portal. And Gunnar Stockton's the quarterback. And that to me is just like you're Georgia. You can get anybody you want. You are, the belle of the ball in terms of one of the power teams in all college football. Why couldn't you get Darren Mensah? Why couldn't you get Carson Beck? Like somebody. I mean, you talk about pressure right now. If you are Georgia, you're looking at Gunnar Stockton, going, okay, can you be elite? Can you hang with everybody else in the SEC? And so far, it's like, okay, Marshall. We could have just rolled out 13ers and beaten them. Austin P. Okay, yeah,
Struggled.
Yeah, I mean, if we won 20-6, but it's like, okay, it's still Austin P. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. Do you look at Gunnar Stockton and go, yeah, he's an SEC quarterback, or do you go,
No.
man?
No, he's horrible.
I didn't think but to me, he's a Stetson Bennett clone.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with that. If Stetson Bennett wasn't great.
If Kirby Smart could win with Stetson Bennett, he can win with anybody. I mean, I really would kind of throw Carson Beck in there. I mean, Carson Beck's probably the best one out of the bunch, and that's not saying much.
Right.
He just hasn't had a great quarterback. He does have a pretty good one coming in next year.
Yeah. They like Puglisi too, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Jared Curtis coming in next year. He's number 2 in the nation. He was 1, but that's kind of political why he's not number 1 anymore. We'll see if he lives up to the hype. That might be his best quarterback ever, but we don't know. People thought Archie Manning was generational. So, he just has not had a blue chip guy at quarterback, and you thought he would with all this talent around him. He kind of took the Bama model, but a little bit too extreme because he makes some of these Bama quarterbacks, some of his Georgia quarterbacks make these Bama quarterbacks look like world beaters.
Well, yeah.
And they're just not. Jared Coker, Sims, those guys are not amazing talent. And even if you want to throw in AJ McCarron, who's good, he's good. I like, but he's not. They
didn't have a good one till
class.
Hurts to Bryce Young at the end. But I think what I think about this game is Aguilar is going to show up. The last year Aguilar is going to show up, man. 14 picks last year. I think that he has no picks yet this year. And he's playing Georgia. I think that's going to be the deciding factor. He's going to throw 2 of them.
Ooh.
One of them's going to be in the crucial moments.
Okay.
Dalen Everett gets the pick for Georgia to wrap it up. I'm going Georgia here. Don't love him on paper, but I love the coach.
Yeah. I love Kirby.
It's hard to pick against them early in the season, man.
I know.
Until you see them lose, it's like Georgia's. I'm not picking against them.
I agree.
Even though I don't care about the quarterback or the running back, their defense is great still. It's gonna be a low-scoring game. Tennessee's gonna be able to run the ball, I think, decently well, but not well enough to beat Georgia, man. They're just gonna make the clutch plays, I think. Gunnar Stockton's not great, but I think he's clutch.
We'll see. Chris, what do you think, man? What do you think about the game? How do you think it's gonna play out?
I am sorry. To me, this is Tennessee because you just look and go, they have the better quarterback. They have not lost as they haven't lost any guys to the transfer portal where you're like, oh crap. They have the running back. This is everything is lined up for him. Whereas with Georgia, it's like eventually all it catches up to you when you're losing, stud players to the draft, to transfer portal. It's eventually you have to go like, okay, we are going to have a down year. Now,
Yeah.
For Georgia, down year is probably like 9-3, but it does catch up to you. And I just look and go, on one hand, it's Joey Aguilar. As I said, on the other hand, though, it is with Georgia, it's like, oh god, our quarterback is Gunnar Stockton, who
Yeah.
that's the best you could get. That's the really best you could get with everything. I'm sorry, you gotta go Tennessee.
I agree. I agree because it's not the best he could get. So it really leaves us like so puzzled because, like you said, there's a Mensa out there. I mean, could have kept Beck at this point. I mean, it looks like better option than Stockton, but he's off to greener and oranger pastures. We'll see if that what he does this week. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think his quarterback. I think he thought, hey, I got the rings, they'll come to me. I don't know if that's was his mindset. Obviously, we'll never know, but I don't know. Yeah, we would always expect Kirby Smart just maybe to have a better quarterback. It's Georgia, it's Kirby. They're pretty much been the premier program these last 5 years. Ohio State's trying to, I think, take that over. I think this year they're gonna try to do that. But yeah, I said give me Tennessee here. And Dalton thinks Aguilar's going to throw 2 picks, one in crunch time, right?
Yeah.
All right. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think it's I love you sticking your neck out there, and it's because hey,
I mean,
I stuck my neck out there last week because I took minus 950 Florida over South Florida,
I don't
and
even
they didn't get it
I
done.
don't even think I'll stick my neck out though, because I mean Georgia's favored still.
Yeah, Georgia's favored by 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that's crazy. We've seen I mean, you all were favored by 18 and a half. So we've seen Georgia mess up here a little bit in the past coming weeks. But let's get into your nemesis here. And this might be a new rival here for you with the South Florida Bulls because they've just been riding high ever since they beat your Gators. They are still got another in-state game. They are facing Carson Beck here, former Dog, facing the Hurricanes. Byron Brown trying to show everyone if you didn't catch last week, well, I got you again. And I think he's going to have a big game here. Chris, want to get your thoughts overall on the game. You don't have necessarily maybe give us a pick if you want to. We can do a little bit in here. But what do you think what's going to happen? Are you a Byron Brown stock buyer, or do you think he's just more of a system guy?
On paper, this should be Miami. I'm going to be honest. You look at Miami, it's like, okay, Ruben Bain, Francis Magiawa, Carson Beck, those three. Bain and McGuire are going to be top 10 picks. And Carson
Mm-hmm.
Beck
Yeah.
can sneak his way into the first round if he keeps playing well. So, my head's going, yeah, if you take Miami, they should win.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going
there's.
South Florida just because
Oh
Ooh,
wow.
let's go.
we,
Wow.
we we keep looking at South Florida. It's like, okay, they're going to return to earth. And look, Alex Golesh has done. I mean, think of it. Oh, they're definitely going to lose to Boise State. Boise State, they still have a good team. They have a lot of players coming back from last year, and they just crunched them 34-7.
If we go by Vegas, they should have no wins, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they have been
Yeah,
they're trying to prove, right?
and it's just Mario
I
Cristobal
mean,
scares me. He finds ways sometimes to
He
just
does.
have like a boneheaded play or boneheaded
yeah.
call. And I mean, remember last year they are cruising. They have Cam Ward, the number 1 pick overall. They are literally they're going into they have won 9 straight games. Just gotta get through. You gotta get through. You gotta get through it, and then they lose to Georgia Tech, and it's just like
Mhm.
fumbles and bad calls. And you're like, what the hell happened? And then they lose the second to last game of the year to Syracuse. It's like, how do you let this happen? And then they lose by 1 point to Iowa State. You just look and it's like, God damn it. How? How does Miami with Mario Cristobal always seem to just get to the finish line and stub its toes? So I'm going this year, South Florida. I think the last year's shellacking is going to be fresh in their mind, and maybe it's just me. I'm counting on Mario Cristobal to throw up again when everybody's going. You can't lose this. This is a gimme. This shouldn't be a problem.
Agree. I totally agree. I mean, they're 16 and a half right now point dogs. I mean, they're easily going to cover. I do think they're going to win the game. It's going to come down late crunch time. But this is a perfect storm for a classic Mario Cristobal late game mess up and mishap. And this is perfect storm. Why? Because you got a mobile quarterback who plays pretty smart, takes care of his body, doesn't take a lot of hits, and they're going to eat up clock. They're going to eat up clock. We're going to see what Baines. I mean, obviously Baines going to be a high draft pick no matter what.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to be a game wrecker for them to win. I don't know if it's going to happen because there's too many times. I've watched Byron Brown each game so far this week. I don't know how I've managed to do that, but I've seen him, and he just slips out of the pocket the last minute. He's really smart, really mobile. He's just all about keeping the drive alive, and that's how you pull upsets off. And we all saw it last week. I like South Florida as well over Miami. Dalton, tell the people what you think here, because I know with Georgia, Tennessee, I don't know if that's a win-win for you or lose-lose, but with this series, you still got some in-state.
They're both lose. Both these games.
Yeah, okay. That's what I say. What are your thoughts here and who you think's going to win?
I'm going against the grain again here.
Okay.
I think Miami's going to score too many points.
Okay.
South Florida's offense, getting all the love, only scoring 26 points a game. It's actually been their defense carrying them, only giving up 11.5 points a game to Florida and Boise. I just think Florida's play calling is really bad, and Boise doesn't have Ashton Jeanty. That explains those two things.
And they don't have a good quarterback.
Who?
They don't have like a premier quarterback.
Ryan Madsen, yeah. I mean, that's what he's supposed to be, but our play calling, like I said, worst play calling in the country, maybe.
Yeah,
that's on the coach, not the player. So I just think Miami's got their offense wasn't the problem last year at all, right? It still ain't the problem. I think they're going to score a lot of points almost every game this year, probably every game this year. Beck and the systems, you got to put up numbers similar to Cam Ward last year through the air, not on the ground, but through the air. I think Miami's they're the better team. South Florida, they were the better team against Boise. They're better than them. Florida's a better team.
Yeah, I agree.
But Cristobal's not a great coach, but he's way better than Billy Napier.
Oh, man, the tides have shifted, Chris. The tides have shifted because, I mean, all before the year, Napier was stay here. We're glad he's staying. He's not going anywhere. This is the year we build. And, man, it's already week 3, and a lot of rhetorics here are changed.
You can't lose to South Florida.
But they're not bad.
I mean, it might be losing to South Florida that changes the whole discussion. It's not even a bad loss anymore.
You really think that? Okay,
right?
That's a good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
If
South Florida does win, it's not a bad loss at all.
I think Vegas has just got this team South Florida all the
now
way.
The spread's crazy.
I think they got them.
I take Miami. I ain't taking the spread. No way.
It's in state, so it's like, is it really a home game for each one? It's pretty much kind of feels like a neutral. Do you think that plays at all, Chris, into it? Do you think Vegas has just got this team all the way messed up, or is just Miami not that good?
It's not Miami's not that good. It's just you keep looking at South Florida. It's like each time they're ever out there, it's like, well, they keep proving you wrong, and they keep proving that they're not going to be overwhelmed by Boise State or Florida. So, and then it's the Mario Cristobal factor where it's like, okay, when is this guy going to just once again throw up on himself? So, yeah, this is why the spread is a lot more closer than we thought, because it's like, well, something's got to give here. Either South Florida isn't that good, or Mario Cristobal is once again not going to, come through in the clutch.
I think it's Miami's better than last year as a whole. By a lot.
Yeah, maybe.
Their defense was one of the worst in the country last year.
A lot of backyard football last year.
And they already won a big game this year. That's really why I'm taking them here. They already beat Notre Dame, and that was a close game. Came down to the wire. Notre Dame's a well-coached team. Cristobal didn't blow that one. I think maybe he's learning. But we're going to find out. I just think Miami's a better team. South Florida, I don't think they can keep it going. It's only been 2 games, it ain't like it's been 10.
Yeah, I agree. But I just think this one's just I think this one's another one. Everyone's just putting the dots together on paper. Momentum's such a real thing in football. I mean, this team's riding high, bro.
Both of them are, though.
Like, they
if
are.
You beat Notre Dame,
South Florida is riding so high right now. They just got paid $500K to come win. I mean, this team, they can't lose right now. They can't lose. That mindset is different. Me and you, we was me and you played. We were playing the state championship. We played against the defending national championship, and guess what? We convinced
I
ourselves
thought we
we
were
had a
going to win
shot.
going into the game.
This
Yeah.
team and that plays a factor because you really keep up for a certain
We
amount
kept
of time.
up in the first half. Yeah.
This team is going to keep up because, bro, they're coming off such a big win. I think I just think they're going to win, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see. I mean, so many things are going to come into play: time management, injuries, just bad calls or good calls. We'll
I just
see.
think Von Rail's going to have to throw for 300 plus
Ooh.
to win, and
Man, I just think this is a straight
I don't
up.
think he could do it.
This is a straight up time of possession game to me. This is just straight up who is just going to convert on third down the most and fourth these days. That's like the new third down, and I think that's who wins the game. But we'll see.
I think Miami's defense got a lot more than Ruben Bain this year, though, man. Akeem Mesidor, too, at D tackle.
They are good.
He already got a sack and a half.
I do think they are a lot better than last year. I'm trying the spread right now.
Xavier Lucas, DB
is
transfer,
16
really
and a
good.
half.
Yeah.
But for the next game, I have 16. I've already put money on South Florida 16 and a half. I already go say that.
All right.
They're going to cover. But next game here was second to last game for the top six before we get into a couple other topics here with Chris. Chris, before we get into it, man, I really do appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, man, and I can't wait to see how this week folds out. But next game we got here, we have Notre Dame, we have Carr, we have Marcel Reed going at it. We only have a small sample size on Carr.
Yeah.
Marcel Reed, everybody thinks he's kind of like the North Sales Juniors here. Real athletic type of guy. He's been pretty impressive this year so far. What are your thoughts on this game and where are you leaning?
Oh, it's gonna be. Yeah, no, it is Texas A&M to me. I think Notre Dame is. They're just not that good. They're rebuilding. I mean, C.J. Carr. This is another program where you're like, okay, why didn't you go to a transfer portal? Again, you're Notre Dame. You can afford it. You did that for Riley Leonard. Why could you not go and try to get somebody? They lost way too much talent. They lost Benjamin Morrison, Xavier Watts, Jack Heiser, Riley Miles, Mitchell Evans, and Riley Leonard to the draft. And then, Jaden, Thomas transferred to Virginia. Steve Angeli transferred to Syracuse. Pat Coogan transferred to Indiana. I mean, man, they got decimated. And look, Texas A&M is
tied into
it. They can get after the quarterback. I think Cassius Howell is going to have a big day. He already has 3 sacks in 2 games. And Marcel Reed is a legit SEC quarterback. To me, this is going to be one of those games where you look at Notre Dame and go, ooh, this ain't good.
Okay. I like the take. Now, with the quarterback there, they did get burned on some decommitments and flips with Deuce Knight not showing up. And
I think C.J. Carr is just good. I think he's
C.J.
going to be
Carr
good.
is good, but
For the first game of your career against Miami, he had a minute. He had a chance to win it.
he did.
Until the O-line fell apart. The last drive.
I think he's a lot. I think 2 things could be true in this one, where this team is good and he's a lot better, but is he good enough to beat Texas A&M right now at week 3? I think maybe if these teams played later in the year, it'd be a total different. But your thought, I want to kind of add on to what Chris was saying with the quarterbacks. This would have been, if they would have got transfer portal quarterback, that would have been their 3rd or 4th, because they had Hartman, Leonard, and then who did they have before Hartman?
I don't know. It's a different coach, Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
I wonder if they was in the portal.
He's only had 2 quarterbacks there.
He's only had 2 quarterbacks.
It's only his 3rd year, right?
Yeah.
Elko.
Yeah.
I mean, Elko. It's only his 3rd year. Oh, Notre Dame. I mean, Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman's third year. It's his 3rd year.
Yeah.
So
he's only had Hartman and Leonard so far. This is his first year without
I think he just.
he's one of his guy.
I think he just wanted to have a guy him try and develop. We'll see if C.J. Carr turns out. I mean, out of all the quarterbacks, I mean, that aren't playing up to snuff that we thought, at least this guy, maybe he might give you something down the road, and then maybe you can just flash your Notre Dame, branding and go get you a guy in January if you need one. But right now, I just think in week 3, I'm leaning towards Texas A&M. If they didn't put up so much points, I think it was last week they put up 44. Yeah,
Utah State.
I know, but I swear, like,
I think
you got to be at least decent to put up 40 nowadays, just because with the NIL, and it's evened out at least a little bit with all these upsets. If you can throw 40 up, I have a little bit more confidence than you playing a good team and only winning by 5. I don't know. I just I don't know. But I think Marcel Reed's going to keep the ball in his hands. He's going to, if he throws more than one pick or just a late pick, it's over. I think it's what it's going to come down to. But give me A&M in a dogfight.
Man, I'm the lone wolf this week. Going with the $5 here.
I'm really close.
You know why?
Okay, give me
There's
why.
one huge stat that jumps off the page to me. Texas A&M week 1 against UTSA gives up 177 rushing yards on 16 carries
Yeah.
to Robert Henry Jr.
I
Ever heard of Robert Henry Jr.?
I
Well, you
didn't
probably
until
haven't
then.
because that was his first career start. So his first career start at a mid-major school against the SEC school, he runs for 177 on 16 carries too, 11.1 yards per carry.
Not good.
And now you're facing Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price and
True.
Aeneas Williams on the road. That's the only reason I'm going Notre Dame. I don't think it comes down to the quarterback. I don't think they're able
They
to
might
stop.
just ride J Love all game, huh?
And then if he's tired, bring in Price. He's a beast too. They got 3 good backs. Carl making enough plays. They're gonna be sucked in on the run. They're gonna have some good play actions. They're gonna hit them over the top on some play actions. Marcel Reed's gonna keep him in the game.
Yes.
Their offense is gonna play good, but I just think Notre Dame's gonna be on the field so much with this run game, and you're gonna see a vintage Jeremiah Love run, maybe a couple of hurdles,
I think
and then
I think you're right because Marcel Reed has to be some sort of a Superman to win this game. Nobody really has to be Superman on Notre Dame to win. They just have to play pretty good.
if they play like they're supposed to, they'll win.
Yeah, I don't know though. Will they?
I
But will they?
I like their whole team. Aside the quarterback, I like him too. He's just unproven, is what I mean. I like him though. I like
Leaning
Carr.
on a running back always sets up for a really big couple third down throws you got to make. And we're going to see if he can make them.
I like the weapons they got this year at receiver though. We didn't even see Greathouse make a catch game 1. Remember how big of a year he had last year? So I think his is coming out week right here for Greathouse. Huge in the playoff run last year. Don't get to the championship without him, right?
Yeah, and then we're going to see if Emil Wagner can kind of step it up there on the offensive line. He got turned around. Did you see that, Chris? He was kind of he was getting
that
tore
play
up.
was bad.
Yeah, I did, and that's again, it's just
Cassius Howell is somebody to watch out for against him. Yeah, if they line him up, Cassius Howell had 3 sacks in a row last week. Granted, it's Utah State. This is a completely different O-line, Notre Dame, but 3 sacks is 3 sacks in a row. Cassius Howell, he might wreck the game for him, but like I said, they're going to run the ball a lot, and he's more of a pass rusher. So I like Notre Dame by the slightest.
Again, this is, and again, I apologize for interrupting you. Just you look at Texas A&M,
yeah,
and they are an SEC team, which means they are getting top tier talent. They are recruiting guys who are NFL draft picks. They find, and ever since Mike Elko has taken over, he's building a culture of fast, hard hitting defense. We're going to be controlled, and against. They've had weeks to work on the kinks. So I just look at Notre Dame and go, they've lost too much talent. This is now, and under Freeman, this will be their 4th different quarterback. It was Drew Pine, Van Hartman, Leonard, now Carr, and there were times, and I get, Miami nearly crapped the bed at the end, but for most of that game, Miami was just curb stomping Notre Dame. So I think this is going to be the problem of Notre Dame being independent. You can't get the players that usually SEC teams and even top tier ACC and Big Ten teams are getting. The money is there, and the people want to play in big conferences.
Agree.
Yeah. Last thing I would say about this game, Notre Dame coming off a bye. I think it's big too. I know you only played 1 game, but 2 games with no bye, that's a lot harder. And they had 2 weeks to prepare for A&M. They were just watching this game last weekend. They were just watching the game probably, right, as a team.
Yeah.
So I think that's
kind of partying their ass off.
Hopefully, at Notre Dame, I doubt it. Probably not. I'm gonna say they were watching the game, but
I agree.
That's the only reason I'm leaning them, man. If it was a neutral site, I'm taking if it's a neutral site, I'm taking A&M.
I would take Notre Dame if it's farther down the road. I hate this is the 2nd week in a row. As soon as I make my pick, I start feeling worse about it. Just felt about
Illinois Duke
over Illinois, yeah, and now I'm kind of feeling that as well. But like I said, I do think it's going to come down to some big throws with Carr, and is he really ready to make those right now? Shout to Trey Zune on the offensive line for Texas A&M, Dungeon family, Matt McChesney trainee there. So shout to him.
Jagusaw didn't play first game either, so they were missing him.
Jagusaw, yeah, shout Jagusaw.
I think he's coming back this week.
Yeah, shout Jagusaw. I really like him on the inside.
That's big if they get him back.
Yeah, he's a dog. And Emil Wagner, I think he's just got to step it up. A lot of these tackles that are coming in highly touted that I thought were a little bit overrated, I think it's kind of showing that. Caden Proctor maybe being one of them. I think he's a guy. He's got a lot to clean up, but we'll see. I don't want to get off topic here, but all right, last game because we picked up any game the same yet? Me and you,
The
Dalton?
first one.
First one.
We
Okay.
both picked Tech.
Okay. All right. Cool. This is going to make for an interesting week then, because all right, leading up to our
Again.
last one, because our last one on the list, NC State.
Oh, we both picked NC State too.
Yeah, it's technically the first. So let's get into South Carolina versus Vandy. This was a close one here. Was thinking about putting Ole Miss, Arkansas, but I think with Simmons banged up and just I don't know if Ole Miss is going to show up, man. We don't know if they're going to show up. But we got here with South Carolina, Vandy. Pavia versus Lenore Sellers. Like you said, Chris, you mentioned it earlier. Lenore Sellers hasn't played too much, but he hasn't done too much either. It's been kind of a red flag here coming off the South Carolina State game. What do you think about this game, and where are you leaning?
Oof. I love Lenore Sellers. I think he is going to be a future NFL stud quarterback. You look at him; he has the size. I mean, he's 6'3", 245. He's built like Josh Allen. When he's on, he is a force of nature. Ask the Clemson Tigers last year when he ran all over them and threw the ball. Ask Virginia Tech, who there were times they were trying to grab him by the arms or by the shoulders, and he would shrug them off. Hell, go back last year to later on when he is taking on either the Alabamas and of all teams Texas A&M, and he's throwing the ball and everything. There are still times it's too fast, and he's not there yet. And look, I love him a lot, but I think right now Vanderbilt might upset here because Diego Pavia is right now a better pure passer. They have Eli Stowers. They have Cedric Alexander, and they've done this. I mean, last year we saw finally Vanderbilt get taken seriously. They upset Alabama. They were 3 points away from beating Texas. I mean, this is not your father's Vanderbilt where it's like, oh yeah, they're going to come, they're going to lose. We'll celebrate homecoming. We're all going to go home. So yeah, give me Vanderbilt in the upset.
Okay, I thought I was gonna have to be alone again.
Give me your thoughts, Dalton.
I'm on your side here, man. I'm going Vandy too. I liked them all off season. Daniel was hating on me for that.
Yes.
But man, did they prove it in the second half last week? 34-0 on the road in Blacksburg. One of the most impressive halves you've seen any team play this year. Maybe the number one half. South Carolina struggled a lot more with Virginia Tech, and they struggled with South Carolina State. Their offense has not got off the ground. Sellers is only going for 168 yards a game, and that's against South Carolina State is one of the two teams.
Virginia Tech, I know, but
right,
yeah.
Virginia Tech's good, but they're not great. We've seen Vandy put up 44.
I agree. That's why this is a good game to compare because they've both played the same
Yeah,
team
exactly.
so
Common
early
opponent
on.
this early in the year, and one of them was on Vandy game was on the road. South Carolina got them neutral site, and they still struggled more. So yeah, I think Vandy's offense is playing a lot better. A lot of continuity from last year. Pavia's back, Alexander's back, Eli Stowers, Junior Sherrill, all their best playmakers are back from last year. And then the backup running back right now, McCollum Young, 11 carries for 114 yards, 10 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. So it looks like they got 2 really good running backs along with Pavia in the run game. And then if you still have to stop the run, they just throw the ball to Stowers or Sherrill. So this is the best Vandy team since James Franklin.
Ooh,
had them 9-3.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think this team is definitely a weird one to look at. You bring up a good point with Pavia being a better pure passer. I do agree. Lenore Sellers has 3 really big things working against him. He's raw, bad offensive line, horrible play calling. 3 things that aren't good for a quarterback that has a high ceiling and that's trying to develop good traits and good habits.
There's another one I would add on even.
What?
His receiving core is he has one good receiver. He has one good receiver, but he's still raw.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna get you. If you need a dig on 3rd and 10 right now, I don't know if he's good for that.
If everyone stays, like if we just because I know transfer portal it changes so much, we're gonna look back and be like, oh, he went to South Carolina. Oh, they all played together at South Carolina. Well, they must have been good. And we're gonna look back and it's not gonna pan out that way, just because, like you said, a lot of these guys are raw. But yeah, I think Lenore Sellers got a lot of things working against him. The offensive line doesn't keep him upright, and the play calling against Virginia Tech was so suspect. It reminded me kind of a lot like Florida. They're not
Mm-hmm.
using his talents, even though Lenore Sellers is a lot more better athlete than Lagway.
Yeah, yeah.
I do still think that there's better ways you could use Lagway, and then but
Lagway's actually slow. He
he
can't
is.
run.
He is. And but Beamer, they have a really good relationship, him and Lord Sellers. That's why I think he won't leave. But I do think that's the best pick for him is just to make it through the season, Lenore Sellers. Just make it through. I don't think he's ready for the NFL. He's not ready yet. Like Chris said, he's not ready. He's still got some fine tuning to do. I think he needs to do that somewhere else. But does he just put on the cape and get this win? It's not a one man show. We all know this. It's a cohesive unit. You need everyone. It's football. But can he just be that guy? Can he pull a Cam Newton? Can he have a moment where he said, he's on his highlight tape or I don't know, but I remember when he went crazy against Vanderbilt and put him on our back and won the game. I think that's possible here, but I do believe in his teammates to kind of rise up in the occasion as well as the playmaking. So give me South Carolina. I do like South Carolina in a very close game. I don't know how it's going to end at all. I don't know. I mean, obviously we don't know. I just predicting this ending and how it plays out is hard. Is a team going to get up big? Does a team have to come back, or is it going to be a defensive standstill all game? Is it going to be a shootout? I don't know. What do you all think of how this is going to play out at all, and what's the recipe to success? For these teams. We'll start with Chris here.
Give me the quarterbacks for both these teams.
Pavia
and Sellers?
Pavia and
Yeah,
Sellers.
I mean, we know it's going to be offensive minded. I just when you look at both of them, which one of them looks to you is like, okay, he's the pocket passer, he's the guy who is going to do, you can hit the read and everything, and who's the guy that still is, a work in progress. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I just think Vanderbilt has Eli Stowers, they have Cedric Alexander,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're more just complete right now. They're ahead. They are a veteran team, whereas South Carolina, Lawrence Sales is still only his second year of college football.
Yeah.
So again, I can see this being one of those games where South Carolina gets off to some points, and then all of a sudden they struggle a bit, and I think Vandy just will at least be able to put 35 points on the board.
Ooh, 35. Okay, I think that's what they need. That's what they need to do to win. I just don't know if they're going to do it. Pavia, I'll say this: if Pavia wins this game, I'm on the Pavia train. Okay, if he wins this game, I will say I'm wrong about this guy, and I will support this guy. I promise.
I mean, they did it before. They put 40 up against Alabama. They've put 30.
I
They
know.
put
Kalen DeBoer
35
Bama.
against Georgia Tech. They've done that before.
44 against Georgia Tech, yeah.
I know.
44 last week. 34-0 second half. I just think they're hot right now. We're talking about momentum a lot. That's the best second half you can play. They're gonna carry it over. Pavia's gonna throw when he needs to, but mostly they're gonna run all over him. Dylan Stewart's not gonna be much of an impact because they're gonna try to run the ball a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I another one where I'm not as confident as when I took it, but I will just say give me the dogs and over the Vandies just because I don't know, man. I just think they're more talented. Is that going to carry over? No, because you don't win just by showing up. You got to coach a good game. Vanderbilt, that's what they do well.
Clark Leah, nice.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a toss up, one of the biggest toss ups of the slate. But we'll see. It was really close with the Arkansas Ole Miss.
This is a tough week to pick, though.
Yeah.
All these are toss ups for real.
What are your thoughts on the Arkansas Ole Miss game, Chris? How do you think that's going to play out?
Oh, it's funny. Taylor Green has started to show people like, okay, this is why we think he could sneak up in draft boards. And look, you want to believe more in Arkansas. So far they've done well, but it's been okay. Great, you beat Alabama A&M. Great, you beat Arkansas State. And I just right now I look at Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin has everything right. Even with all the people he lost in the draft, Walter Nolan, Jackson Dart, Trey Harris, he is still that team is still a wagon. And Austin Simmons looks like I'm just going to plug and play. They looked pretty damn good against Georgia State. Once again, Georgia State. But the Kentucky game sold me on it when they were just able to hang on. And again, this is where you look and go, yeah, Arkansas is nice. I'm going right now with the proven product.
I agree. I do agree with Taylor Green on rising up.
Yeah.
I think if anybody likes Castellanos, you should like Taylor Green. They do the same thing. And Castellanos
Taylor Green's probably
and Taylor Green throws a lot better. I think he makes mistakes. He throws some dumb things. Now he does play in the Petrino offense.
he's probably
That's
7 inches taller. too.
Huh?
He's probably 7 inches taller too.
Yeah, yeah.
That
so
comes into
he's a better
it.
prospect, just not even no question, I think. But they play really similar. And if you like that guy, then you pretty much have to like Taylor Green because he'll make some throws. He'll get it right over the backer, over coverage, and it'll be beautiful. Then he turns around, makes some bonehead plays. He had 2 picks last week. One of them, I will blame the receiver. He didn't sell out for it, but he does. The other one was kind of a bonehead play. But Arkansas has a great offensive line, and Cam Robinson, I think that's his name. I love him. He's one of my favorite offensive lineman prospects, sleeper wise. And I previewed that game on Draft Professor this week. I do think both these teams are rather young, but they do have some talented guys. Corey Robinson is the guy I was thinking of at offensive line. Xavier Sori at linebacker.
Cameron Ball.
Captain. Omega Blake. Great wide receiver, man.
Yeah.
This guy is
explosive.
He is a really explosive freak talent. 6'2", 187. Started his career, with South Carolina.
Went to Charlotte.
And then, went to Charlotte. And, I think it's going to be a crazy game, man.
I'm actually going to go with Taylor Green in this game. I don't
telling you.
love Austin Simmons' first quarters. He's thrown 2 picks in both of his games.
I know.
In the first quarter.
I know.
He didn't play good teams, though. Now, this is a better team than Kentucky. By far.
I know. I think
this is Kentucky's worst team on paper.
You see, they've already made another move at the quarterback. They're starting Cutter Boley this week.
Good.
Yeah.
I think he's the future. At least you try to give him a chance. But I'm going with Arkansas. I think this is their first. They didn't have a big win under Pittman, really.
No.
But I think they get it done just because if Simmons starts, you don't throw 2 picks in the first quarter again against Taylor Green, you're probably down 14-0. And it's hard to come back against him and that offense, I think. Petrino's got this offense rolling.
Agree. I do think it's going to be one of those games where Petrino just flexes his muscle and him being kind of just an offensive. I can't call him an offensive guru, but he's just a guy that's just always had a good offense, man. If he's coaching wherever he's coaching at, take the over. They're probably going to score some good amount of points. Their quarterback, say what you want about their pro, accolades and how they translate, but he can always get the most out of his quarterbacks at the college level. And I just think Ole Miss is a little bit too young in some of the spots. I do like Luke Haas.
Yeah, tight end.
Caden Lee's a wide receiver for Ole Miss. I do like. He had 874 yards and 2 tutties last year.
Yeah.
He's a sure-handed guy.
Small though, real small frame.
But he's a sure-handed guy. He's sure-handed. He doesn't play that small.
Reminds me a lot of Jace Brown from Kansas State.
Jace Brown. Okay, what do you think about Deshaun Stribling maybe making a couple big plays this game?
Big physical guy. Oklahoma State transfer, Washington State transfer. I like him, man. Harrison Wallace too.
And then we have
Harrison Wallace is my favorite receiver on their team, probably.
Really? I like
Penn State transfer.
I like Caden Lee. Okay. And maybe we'll see. I really want to take a touchdown this week. This is totally random on Barryon Brown against Florida this week. But we do have the
Miami?
Nebraska transfer.
Oh, Barry and Brown.
Prince Will Umanyalan.
Oh yeah, Harrison Wallace already got 247.
Really?
So he's averaging 123 yards a game. I didn't know he was doing that good, but told you about him. He's nice, man. Harrison Wallace, Deuce Alexander. Good weapons. Ole Miss, but too many mistakes right now from Simmons.
And then Deshaun Womack, LSU transfer.
Yeah.
He's pretty solid as well for Ole Miss. We'll see how that pans up. Those are the guys I mentioned on the Draft Professor on Monday, so got to give them a shout out. And we'll see how it pans out, man. Any other games, Chris? Is there any other games you have your eye on this week, or are you just looking at these marquee matchups here?
These marquee matchups. I mean, this is now where we start going, okay, we're going to start separating teams that we think are real contenders from pretenders, start getting right into the league games. And this is where, to me, it's like, okay, we have a good 6 games you can look at and go, okay, we're cooking now for business.
Agree. I think, this is going to tell a lot. A lot of this true identity is going to be shown, whether it be just because we've seen these teams play enough or we've just seen this team finally play someone that's a formidable opponent. And we'll see how it goes.
Only one game I would talk about, Duke Tulane.
Duke Tulane. Okay, Red Slav versus Mensa.
Mensa back against.
Red Slav coming off a dog fight with South Alabama. What do you think about the game?
Man, Tulane -1.5, so essentially a pick on.
Ooh,
Um,
Tulane's favored. Wow.
this week is a big week for the Group of 5
Yes.
playoff picture.
And Big 12.
If South Florida wins, obviously they're in the driver's seat. But if they don't, Tulane beats Duke.
Be a really big win.
No, they jump ahead of South Florida. I don't know. It'd be close, but I like that game a lot. I think Tulane wins.
Chris, what are your thoughts on Tulane being a 1.5 point favorite coming off just a 2 point win against South Alabama?
Yeah, it's tough because it should make sense for Tulane. And look, John, I know John Summerall is doing a great job there, but it's you're looking around like, all right, you lose Darian Mensah. They replaced him with Jake Retzlaff, who's been, who went first to Golden West, then Riverside, then BYU, and then there's a sex scandal, and he then joins Tulane right off the bat. Within like days. Look,
it's real quick.
Yeah, I know. Look, I know it's on one hand, it's like, okay, yeah, Tulane, Duke should have more talent. It's just how many players in Tulane are going to look across from Darian Mintz and go, "Wow, you really porked us, left us. You just."
Not for sure.
Again with Duke, I love Darian Mensah. He is my QB3 if he comes out of this draft. It's just the rest of Duke I don't like too much. I think they are just they don't have I don't think the horsepower to compete against the upper elite Big 10, Big 12, ACC, SEC teams. So yeah, this feels just wonky. This feels like Duke could either run away with it or all of a sudden you look at Tulane and go, they're going to come fired out. They want to prove something. They want to show, Darian Mensah, okay, we nearly won the conference and you bailed on us. Screw you, buddy. Screw you.
I think Red Slav edition was one of the biggest in the whole portal cycle, and it was the last commitment probably. He made their team so much better, right? They were going to have to go with Brendan Sullivan at quarterback, back up at Iowa last year. Instead, they get
their playbook opened up a lot.
Instead, they get this guy who almost made the playoffs last year. Yeah, so that helped a lot. Duke worried me in the second half last week.
They did. Both teams.
They got blown out though.
Both teams worried me last week. That's why. I don't know. Obviously Vegas has to go with somebody. They have to give the advantage to somebody. I do think this is a total toss-up of what we saw from both teams last week. We'll see how it plays out. It's going to be a big win for either one, but it's obviously going to be recognized as a way bigger win if Tulane can pull it out. But we'll see what happens. I would like if Darian Mensah came out because our boy Terry Walker is going to be a quarterback at Duke next year. Shout out to him. He's having a heck of a season there in Indy. Yeah, man, I'm really excited. That's pretty much all the games we have. Want to get into one last topic before we get out of here on this great Wednesday night before it starts unfolding for week 3. Have a crazy story. I feel like it's been a crazy week already. We've had some crazy news today. But I'll put this in the Draft Professor chat. It's kind of blew my mind, Chris. I don't know if you saw it. But we're in the recruiting world. We help a lot, kids get their name out there with recruiting. And I see a lot of kids, they drop their tape all the time, trying to get coaches to notice them. And other way around, we see coaches reach out, trying to find players. Well, I come across a fake school yesterday that is offering players, and they're pretty much just posing as a fake school as Cincinnati Christian University, but everything is fake. This is not a real school. It was a real school. It ended in 2020. And this guy's posing. His name is like Coach Dorian Milford. You can see her on the screen. We put a tweet out just to kind of warn guys because he's dropping tape. He's saying, here, I got 3 offers today. Send me your tape. And just yesterday, Chris, 230 kids sent them their highlights. He's got a kid from Australia saying he just got offered from there. Is this kid setting up fake visits for kids that come all the way from Australia? This is like a Bishop Sycamore situation we're looking at that I came across. And I just want to get your thoughts on this and how crazy people are.
Didn't that guy go to jail?
This is one of those things we talk about, there's just so much in the real world that pisses you off. People like this really piss me off because they're scammers. They're no better than the Nigerian prince scam, the people who
Yeah.
hack into older people's phones and young kids like, hey, can I get a naked picture? Hey, can I get and then they blackmail you. Like this is what this guy is. He's a predator. He's preying on people with their hopes and dreams of, hey, I'd love to get a tape. I'd love to get this. And I bet you he's making money off of that by either putting it on his YouTube site. I mean, God damn it, people like that really piss me off because you're literally, just preying on people's hope and dreams. And he can just go to hell as far as I'm concerned. I'm that
Dude.
pissed right now.
Fair enough.
I never thought we'd have to do like investigative journalism here, but I texted a coach for Winton Woods High School in Cincinnati. He runs a hell of a program. Just had he just had Louisville offered yesterday. A couple of his guys on campus. They had North Carolina offer with one of his guys yesterday. So he pumps out guys. He's got guys at Ohio State, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him if he's heard of these guys. He said no, I've never heard of them. I did some research, and it took me honestly 20 minutes, but there's. With the NIL and the roster limits, there's only so many scholarships to go around. It's even more scarce these days. I think the roster cuts like 80, right? 85 right now, 90. And it's just harder than ever to get a scholarship because you had portal guys, coaches trying to save their jobs. They're going to take the portal kid over the high school kid instead of developing them. And, like you said, man, you took the words out of my mouth. It's crazy how they would just waste kids' time, waste your time. Like, you could have just used this time to, I don't know, literally anything else besides try to scam kids out of an opportunity. Because if this was getting no retweets, no kids, like, sending this guy stuff, I wouldn't care. Okay, haha, you got a joke. But I just 230 kids just yesterday. And it's growing. So I put out there in the comments, and it's kind of starting to get a couple of eyes on it, just some of the players, because he's offering guys. And I saw the kid from Australia. I'm like, oh, hell no. This kid, what if he says, here, come to this address.
Right, what the hell?
This is your visit, and this kid shows up with his bat. Who knows how that could play out?
Like, what's he trying to do? What's his end game?
What is the end goal?
What's the end game?
You don't have a brick and mortar. It's like, I don't know. It blew my mind because, especially with Cincinnati being close to us, we're located in Louisville, Kentucky.
I feel like that's not, that can't be his real name.
No, hell no. Dorian
made
Milford.
it up.
No. If you go on there, if you go on the page, it's everything is AI fake. His whole face is fake. I mean, everything. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out, but still,
It's hope. He's preying on hope. So how many of these kids are just desperate for a scholarship, desperate to get noticed, and all this guy has to do is just leave some breadcrumbs, put on a little creative website, dangle the carrot. Next thing you know, he has free content. He's trying to even weasel his way into these kids.
Yeah. Who knows? And then he could get money saying, here, Venmo me this for, have partial scholar. Who it could go a total different ways. If you watch you're familiar with the Bishop Sycamore saga. You know about that stuff?
I don't know, but it doesn't surprise me because we've seen this before. Where
that's crazy.
These people bring fake stuff out of nowhere, and they just as soon as they get the money, they run, or they get the tapes and they run, or so this isn't the newest thing. This guy will go away, or they'll catch him, and then there'll be another guy. They just unfortunately, there's always people like this who pop out of the weeds, and there's nothing you can do unless you really hammer them like prison sentences. That's how I'm at the point with these people.
Yeah, like you said, you're preying on hope. And with the Bishop Sycamore thing, this guy had he made a fake school. They never had a real school. He got kids to move into these hotels. He would get them into hotels, get on 90-day financing plans and not pay them. Football season's only 3-4 months. You only need to get, scam a couple guys. He had 50 kids. He took PPP loans out all in their names. And then he had 20-year-olds. Then he scheduled Chris 2 football games, varsity games in 48 hours. They played on a Tuesday and then they played on a Thursday night. And then the Thursday night game, who they played IMG Academy. And they got mollywopped. Obviously, they had kids sharing helmets. They had kids sharing. They didn't have enough gear to roll around. They didn't have trainers. They didn't have anything. He had to go pick up pads at other high schools before games. It's pretty crazy. And then some of those kids, they were left ineligible because of it and couldn't go play anywhere else.
Yeah.
And then we got this guy in 2025 after all that trying to I don't know what the end goal is here. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, man, because like it just blows my mind of what links people go to these days. It just I don't know, just to be evil and just to I don't know, be assholes. I don't get it.
Yeah, you said there's nothing else I could say about that. Just
Yeah,
as I said, I feel bad for all these kids who it's just you're hoping. You said you're trusting this guy. You're taking a blind leap of faith, and then you find out he's just playing everybody.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's something I had to bring attention to. I can't see that and just keep scrolling because of all the kids. Just hey, coach, look at my tape. This is my year's of eligibility. I was all district. I just want opportunity, man. We did it. We sent our tape out.
No,
So
everybody
we've
does.
been
You send it because that's how you hope to get noticed. Whether it's any kind of industry, whether it's
and you're
sports,
such
whether it's pro wrestling, whether it's football, Hollywood, you send tapes out so that hopefully somebody goes, "Hey, I need to work with this guy. Hey, I want this guy. Hey, I want to hire this kid."
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they could just go so many ways if this guy really wants to take it to another level and you know hurt these kids even more on a broader scale and taking money from them, having them travel across the country for no reason. So hopefully that plays out. And I sent it to people in 247. I sent it to a guy who used to work for 247. So hopefully we get some stuff rolling and get this count at least shut down. But we'll see how it plays out, and hopefully it pans out. And we'll obviously see how week 3 pans out, Chris. Pretty much close to wrapping up here, man. I really appreciate you for hopping on and going over our top 6 games. This past week, we did have an MVP of Sawyer Robertson
Mm-hmm.
for Baylor. So shout out to him. He was our player of the week last week, going 400 yards again. Went 400 yards last week, didn't get the win. But this week, he got it. Before we leave, the final word here, I want to get your take on who do you think might be a possible MVP this week?
I will say we went over this here. Paiavia. I mean, this is the guy we're talking
Yeah.
about. Randy.
Okay.
Everything is on him. He is the guy. He is the engine that runs Vanderbilt. I think they're cooking with something. I think South Carolina is still a young team, and like I think if you are, if you for Tennessee to, sorry, for Vanderbilt to win, Diego Pavia is going to have to just cook, and I think this
Yeah.
is a game where he just once again shows people in the SEC, hey, don't sleep on me. I know, I'm not the biggest guy. I know I'm only 6 feet, 207 pounds, but God damn it, I was SEC newcomer of the year last year. I was all SEC second
Yeah.
team last year. God, he is the real deal. He's going to cook this week.
Hey, I agree. JUCO product always rock for those guys that came up through the mud through JUCO, and it's always a harder road to get to where you're at. And yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I like the prediction. Dalton, you got to pick for impossible MVP this week.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love, I think.
Okay.
Goes for 100 plus.
Mm.
Couple tutties.
Okay.
After seeing A&M's week 1 game, man.
Okay, and then I like those 2 picks. I would maybe lean J Love if he just goes crazy, but I'm gonna go with my guy who I liked him first week. Second week he backed it up. We'll see if he does it third week. Give me Byron Brown as the potential MVP for this week of him possibly getting it done through the air and on the ground against Miami. He's gonna have a tall order against him with Bain and the host of Hurricanes they got there. But we'll see how it pans out.
Sawyer Robertson's going to throw for 400 again. Though.
Again?
Because he played in Sanford.
Somebody called that today.
He gets to play Sanford.
Somebody on Barstool called that today. They said he's going to do it again.
He gets to play
And
Sanford.
they said get your bets in now for Heisman. He is plus 6,000 for Heisman or something.
I'm about to put it on $5 on it.
Hey,
If
go
it's
for
that
it.
much, if it's that much, man. If Baylor's got an easy schedule the rest of the way. If they go 11-1, 10-2, he averages 400 yards a game. Who else are you giving it to?
I know. I know, and it's a quarterback-friendly award, I think, especially with Travis Hunter winning it last year, the anomaly he is. We'll see who they give it to. I think they'll probably go back, get it back to quarterback on brand here for the Heisman. My pick right now is Mateer, but we'll see. That can easily change here in a couple weeks. But, all right, man, we will go ahead and close it out here for week 3 preview show. We will be back Monday morning, 11 a.m. to recap it and see how our picks played out, see who showed out, and see how it all went down. I do want to thank everyone that's been tuning in on X and on YouTube. Anywhere you catch our content, we really appreciate it. Give us a follow, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be right back at you. Catch us on Friday. We're going to have 5 new prospects. We're going to start that back up since we're towards the mid-season here for some high schools getting into it. Got 5 new prospects you're going to take a look at on Friday that you should know about. Before we get out of here, Dalton, you got any final words?
I hope I don't witness some murdering.
Dalton will be in Baton Rouge this Saturday for
Let's
the
hope
Florida game.
It's close.
And he is going to possibly witness a murder.
I don't think so, though. Neither does most people. The spread keeps going down.
Vegas thought you all were
If
going
the
to
spread's
win by
going
18
down.
last week.
Well, that means the people are on us too. If the spread's going down.
Well, people were on Louisville 14.5 against.
Well, you are too,
Yeah, I know.
and I wasn't.
Well,
We can't be right about every game, you know.
we can't be right, and
Every single game.
I do think this one LSU has to flex their muscle and really show that they're not one-dimensional and just I don't know. They have to use their speed. We're going to see how it plays out, and you can catch us Monday at 11 a.m. Once again, Chris, before you leave, I appreciate you for coming on, man, and hopefully we catch you in the future. We can catch all of us Monday on the Draft Professor podcast as we go over the prospects. You got any final words here, Chris?
No, just once again, check out lastcallpodcast.com. I'm also on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn. And tomorrow we're going to be dropping an interview we just did with Keith Thurman. He'll be fighting October 25th at the MGM Grand against Sebastian Fundora for the WBC light middleweight championship. And guys, love being on the show, and hopefully I can come back on in the near future.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Be
yes,
great.
sir. Yeah, it was awesome to have you on. As soon as we was on with you on Draft Professors, like, got to get this guy on. He's a dog, and he knows the ball. And like you said, you can follow him everywhere here. You can catch him on the Last Call, anything combat sports. He's got you covered, as well as NFL content. And we will catch you soon at Monday, 11 a.m. And you all have a great week.
Yep. See y'all later.
See you all. Have a good one.